I'm pretty sure I know who Ruby's father is. The Toymaker, his whole thing is games, and the Maestro, and their whole thing is music, breaking the fourth wall and having very sort of cinematic fourth wall breaks, telling the story. She knows how to manipulate time or reality to be a better story, revealed as the Celestial Storymaker.
What I imagine is going to happen is the final shot of the entire series will be Mrs. Flood again turning to the camera and being like, "Ooh, wasn't that good?"
And that's how the story of the church on Ruby Road comes to an end. But life goes on, doesn't it? Ruthlessly.
So everyone, I was wrong. Or was I? Not really, but kind of. So Mrs. Flood, well, Ruby, for example, wasn't the one who waits, and she wasn't the Celestial Storymaker. But I did make that guess that how the series would end, and it looks like I was basically 100% right. I don't think we're going to find out who Mrs. Flood is until we get to the end of Ncuti's tenure as the Doctor. And I think that's really good. I think having this long storyline, this long villain with a lot of build-up to become out as the big person is a good thing. And I have to say, I don't think that Mrs. Flood is evil. I stand by that. But I imagine what's currently going on is that Mrs. Flood is currently finding different companions throughout the Doctor's life. So at the moment, she was with Clara. She was acting like Clara, said the clever boy thing. And then there was Romana. There was also that idea of cosplay in the in Rogue. So I'm wondering if she's almost like an audience insert in like a very different way. So how would the fans come in? She's like the Doctor Who version of Batmite.
I'm your #1 fan. You guys aren't even trying. I need to raise the stakes. Now try the same trick on these guys.
I think every time we see her, she'll look like a new companion. There was like a bunch of places she went to in her suitcase. Let me just check what those are. Places she went to was the Orient Express, New York, Blackpool, Gallifrey, was that Penzance, Cardiff, Clom, love Clom, Paradise Towers, Las Vegas, and Tokyo. So she's been around lots of places. So I wonder if this is like all the places which we're going to go to in the future. Maybe we're going to have a Gallifrey episode. Maybe Channel Pup's going to be really happy. We're going to go to Clom. Penzance. I don't know what Penzance is. What is Penzance? It's a town in Cornwall. So to sum up, what I imagine is happening with this sort of Celestial Storymaker is they are some sort of cosmic fan. Doctor Who. They are the Whovian, one could say. And they are here to try and make... because it's fun. They love stories and they need to make a story. So she's sort of peering out time, adjusting things. Maybe even she's the reason that the Timeless Child happened, because she was like, oh, let's add some mystery back in by explaining the ending and the origin story of Doctor Who, because that makes sense. But yeah, so the Celestial Storymaker will be around. She'll be adjusting things, come up more and more often. She'll be saying that's the end of this story, that's the end of that story, or the next chapter is the darkest we've ever seen, and then there'll be more things, and maybe we'll have a prop break in a universe where she's like, no, I don't like the TARDIS being there, and she knocks it away and goes somewhere else. So, kind of similar to like the Time Lords in the beginning of Genesis of the Daleks, and they were all like, want to take you away from there with the transmat. But yeah, those are my quick fire thoughts.